Hello everyone, how's it going? It's Genoa, and I am a law of attraction coach helping you manifest from the inside out, helping you get into a vibrational frequency and alignment with your goals through a connection with your source and through a connection with your inner self, through your actual embodied experience of who you are, okay? This isn't all just thoughts, it's about fully embodying who you are and your next level. So, now, today's topic is being centered in your wholeness and being conscious of the way you're seeing the world, okay? So when we are living life, right? Okay, let's organize ourselves for this talk. We are in a human form on Earth, a planet spinning in space, infinite space. We are in one solar system, a part of one universe, and there's infinite amounts of universes and galaxies, right? We're just in one Milky Way galaxy. So, okay, that's some perspective. And now somehow we're here looking at things through a microcosm of the human experience, where we could be, if every day we expanded our mind and thought of the infinite universe, the galaxies upon galaxies upon galaxies, like something within us is able to tap into that. What is that, right? That's what I'm saying. I'm going to sneeze, I think. Maybe not. So when you expand your consciousness, usually you have to sneeze. Just kidding. So expanding that consciousness means, the fact that we are able to do that in itself means that we are that expanded consciousness deep down, right? Like deep within us, here now as well. We are able to tap into that infinite consciousness and that expanded space that is real. It's the way it is, right? If we look at the way it is, we are just one planet in this one solar system, one galaxy, and there's many, 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 many more galaxies, and it's insane. So when you think about it that way, okay, then expanding your consciousness, like the fact that you're able to expand your consciousness means that you are expansion itself. You are that expansion. And whatever you are habitually focused on, it becomes you as well, but you are inherently expansive, and you don't have to be so habitual and focused on certain things, right? Like I remember when I was living a habitual life, I don't anymore, by the way, I, had routines in place, going to school, going to swim practice. I was a swimmer, and then going home, doing homework, going to sleep. Like this was my life for many years. And when you get so entrenched in that reality, you think that's all there is. And literally your brain is so programmed to think in that reality that it doesn't even think outside of that box. But you have the ability to think in any box. You get to create your box, okay? You get to deliberately create the box of your mind. And you can have it can be as expansive as you like, and it can be as, rooted and grounded and simple and constructed as you like as well. It's 4:44 here right now. So it's up to you, and you get to decide that as you move and as you flow through life, okay? So now I wanted to go into the wholeness. Okay, you're an expanded being. Now, as an expanded being living life, you have thoughts that come up, right? Thoughts come up, and we have different voices within us, and they get triggered by certain things on the outside. But really all that's happening is we are a being with a past and past conditioning and a family system. And our family systems, first of all, we have our family system voices in our head, like the parents of our father, the parents of our mother, the parents of our siblings. And then we have like our own voice mixed with those. And we have any defense mechanisms too. We have those voices going on. So, if your father was working all the time and wasn't emotionally available for you, then you tend to attract men into your life that are the same energy of being emotionally unavailable, and trying to relate that if you grew up as a male and your father is emotionally unavailable for you, how that plays out too. So looking at these voices, right? When you go out into the world, these voices are getting activated based on experiences that you're having. And you just have to be conscious of yourself and conscious of, oh, I see why I'm projecting that. I see why I'm thinking that. Because really, the outer world is is a kind of mirror to you, okay? Because you're going to be triggered by certain things based on what you already have inside you. Yeah, does that make sense? So when you go out into the world and you start getting triggered by certain things, positively or negatively triggered. Yeah, trigger can be positive. You can have a positive trigger, right? So identifying the voices inside you that's really important, to be conscious of the voices and have a witness perspective of them. So you have like your mother's voice, and then you have your voice that is in combat with your mother's voice, right? So like, for example, for me, the pattern, I'll just share my personal pattern with my mom. She was taking up all of the space. So I was always kind of depressed, like repressed, because I didn't have space to speak. There wasn't space for me to be fully acknowledged as myself, right? Because my parents were big talkers and like life of the party kind of people. So they were always taking up the space. And so I never had this sense of value for my space because it was always taken up by them. And so I got used to this vibration, this feeling of other people get to have the space, not me. I don't get to fill the space. I'm not allowed to fill the space. And if I try to fill the space, right, and this is all happening subconsciously, okay? If I try to fill the space, I am going to be punished in some way, right? And not that my parents were like deliberately punishing me for trying to fill the space, but it was like this, it was a negative reaction from them. It wasn't a warm, welcoming, inviting me in. It was more of a pushing against if I try to. So if I get that push energy, the path of least resistance is going to be, okay, I'll stay over here and I'll just let them have the space, and I'll just like surrender and not value myself. Now I'm not going to value me taking up the space, right? Does that make sense? So you have to be conscious of these things these patterns that you grew up in, and you don't have to spend years in therapy working through them. You can, if that's like what you love to do. Like I loved going to therapy when it was the time of my life to do so, and but I don't need to stay there anymore. And now I've gotten so good at energy that I can shift things really, really quickly. When you understand energy, you can do things that would take years to do in therapy. You can do that in an instant with energy work. My screen just went black. Why does it do that? Okay. So, yes. Be conscious of your voices, and you can, just look at your life as an experiment. Like, you step out the door and you start hearing, like, okay, my voice is responding, reacting to what just happened over there, and I see why I'm thinking that, right? Like, so when you understand why you're thinking certain things, then you have the power to change that and think what you actually want. So another thing that I wanted to share is, like, whatever you want to manifest, like, you can manifest anything, okay? Whatever you want, if you don't have it yet, you are keeping it from yourself. And this is mind-blowing, right? You are keeping it from yourself. If you don't have it yet, you're keeping it from you. And this is not like you need to blame yourself or feel like uber responsible for it, because it's subconscious. It's all happening subconsciously. So it's not like we have to feel bad about ourselves ever. It's just, oh shit, I gotta like look into my subconscious and clear this stuff so that then I can stop keeping what I want from myself. Because what's actually keeping it away from us is these subconscious patterns from childhood, from whatever. It's just from the world. So to change and to actually attract what you want, you have to stop keeping it from yourself, which means it's all an inside job. So if you want something but you don't have it, it's because you're keeping it from yourself. You are the ultimate power in your whole freaking life, even on the deepest level in the whole freaking universe. Because we are all saying the word I, right, every day. Anyways, that's a whole nother subject. But we are all like the only power that there is. You are source. You are God. You are. You are it. You are that. There's nothing besides you. There is no one but you. And I don't mean your persona, your person. I mean you as an infinite consciousness, you as God, you as source. You are all there is. And you appear in this human form for a while. So you are this human form for a while, and as this human form, you come with these conditionings and these patterns of energy that don't always serve you. They don't actually align to your highest good. So that is what I do. That is what I help you do, is get aligned with your highest good and help you change what's inside of you, these conditionings that are not helping you live your best life. Yes. So just remember that if you don't have what you want, just know it's only a job between you and you to get what you want. And though, people may help you along the way, like be great mirrors to you, and even you may manifest mirrors who you can process with, and mirrors that can give you feedback and help you through your process. But at the end of the day, it's always between you and you. But that doesn't mean that you don't interact with the world and interact with people and receive help from people, receive guidance, receive coaching, receive therapy, whatever it is. Like, all of those things are amazing tools when you use them from the right place within you. So let's see here. Is that all I wanted to say? I feel like I'm talking really fast. It's probably not coming across that way. So just remember, whatever you don't have yet, you're just keeping it from you. And all it is a training of your vibration and training yourself to have it. Training yourself to have what you want. You get to have what you want. You get to have everything you want. You get to have everything you want. Okay? And like, I don't mean like superficial desires either. I mean like real things, like really, really important things in life. You get to have them, okay? And all it is when you stop keeping it from yourself, meaning you're not a vibrational match to it. And this also takes understanding of law of attraction and quantum physics. When you're no longer keeping it from yourself by not being an energetic match to it, and you actually become an energetic match to it, then by law of attraction, by the laws of physics, by laws of energy, it has to come to you. There's like no way around it. It will fall into your lap. And that's the thing too about manifesting. Like, you never have to force something. If something's not ready yet, like, sometimes you just have to live some life. You gotta go through some shit sometimes. You gotta go through things, and you have to live your life and just let living your life sort it out sometimes. That happens sometimes too, okay? So I don't want to like give you this impression that it's always so easy. That if you just remove it, then it's completely healed forever. Like, sometimes, yes, it does happen like that. But other times, you just need some life experience. You just need to like get out there and live. All right? So the most important thing is always follow your guidance, follow your intuition, be connected to your source, because that is the truest voice. That is the most like true guidance you will ever find is within you. And so when you fine tune that connection to your voice and to your inner being, then you will manifest things that are actually more in alignment with you. You'll be doing things that are more in alignment with you. And then from that place, you can also be more magnetic, more magnetic to your desires and to the soul life that you're designed to live. Okay? So just, stop keeping it from yourself. Stop keeping it from you. Don't keep anything from you. Give it to yourself. Always give yourself what you want energetically. If you don't have it in the physical yet, give it to yourself energetically. Okay, that you do that through visualizing, through imagining and feeling those feelings of already having it. When you get so good at that, like, you will see how magic your life becomes. Because then what happens is you increase your ability to magnetize what you want to, because you are I lost it. When you become so tuned in to your source, to your inner being, and you do things that are aligned with you, you're listening to your intuition, that also takes like being spot on with your intuition and following it, even when your rational mind says, what the fuck is this? Like, you have to sometimes get over your rational mind. Like, your rational mind doesn't have the answers when it comes to intuition and when it comes to manifesting using laws of energy. The rational mind, unless you have a rational mind that was trained with these understandings of energetic principles, but most of us don't. Most of us have a rational mind that we learned from school, and basically just a bunch of information that is not suitable to living empowered, self-valuing, fulfilling lives, because the way our society is structured, especially with with money, people want you to stay small. People don't want you to be empowered, because then you they can't control you. They can't get you to do certain jobs. Like, they don't want people feeling empowered asking for raises, right? If you are working for a company, they don't want you to be empowered with money. So they're not going to teach you about money in school, because if you're empowered with money, then you're going to start asking for a raise, or you're going to end up leaving them. Like, they want people who are going to stay small so that they can essentially control them still, or have that upper hand. So, this is the world we live in, and that's why the way to become free is through inside out, through yourself. Okay? So, Yeah, so this is when you learn. Sometimes tied up in that too is this habit of giving our power away to our bosses or to, people in higher positions of power. So we think we have to give our power to them because they're in control of our money in a sense. So where's that going? Oh man. I'm losing my train of thought. Keeping that from yourself, like keeping. Oh man, I lost it. Okay, anyways, let me talk about something else. So, yes, so being your own source. Yeah, sometimes it's hard for people to reconnect to their own source because we're so used to making other people in higher positions of power our source. We are so used to people giving our power to people who are in positions of greater power than us. And that's a really big mistake. You always want to have your first power source from within. Your first consultant is you, between you and your source. And yeah, it's very, very important to practice that and be conscious of that, because if you're giving your power away to other people in positions of power that you're perceiving are, greater than you and are in practical terms of the world we live in, then you will be submitting yourself to their consciousness and to their control, their lead in a way. And when you do that, then you're sacrificing a part of yourself for their approval. And you don't want to do that because you want to have all your sourced from within. All of your approval comes from within here. You approve of yourself. You validate yourself. Having that really strong connection to yourself and to your self-talk, where you are basically supporting yourself, is so, so, so important for anything you do in life, for success in anything. So really support yourself. Support yourself, validate yourself, approve of yourself, and that is loving yourself. That is how you love yourself. Okay? Alrighty, y'all. So that's, how did we already go 23 minutes? What the heck? Where does the time go? Questions or comments, leave it below. Make sure you like this video if you found it interesting, and I'm much appreciated if you like and subscribe to my channel, and feel free to comment anything below, questions, insights that you got from this talk, and make sure you visit my website to sign up for a session if you are desiring to get more and more clarity in your life and a deeper connection to your source. Learning more how to really validate yourself. We will definitely work on that in a session and get you really tuned into that. Then I will see you in the next video, and